Okay. 3 plus the quantity of x plus 5 all over x. Right now, the 3 has a denominator of 1. Okay, so we are going to write a denominator of 1. Check out the two denominators. Maddie, are the two denominators the same? No. So we are going to look for lowest common denominator. Guess what it is? X. It's just an x. Or can you write 1x if you really wanted to? Yeah. So it's an x. So I have two fractions. I'm going to write two fraction bars. They're both going to have an x now. Look at the first denominator. What did we change? We multiply by an x. What you multiply to the bottom, you multiply to the top. So now the top I get 3x. Check out the next denominator. Did we change anything?
Oh wait, no you don't.
Yeah, I didn't change anything. We didn't change anything. So guess what? Did we change the numerator? No. Nope. We write it as x plus 5. Okay, so now this is back to the other day's lecture. The denominator is the same. What do you do at the top? You just add them. Okay. So now we're going to write it all over one denominator. 3x plus x is now 4x. And then what? Plus 5. Check it out. Can we factor this at all?
No.
No. So we box it up. Then let's state the restrictions. X can never, ever be what? 0. Okay. So that's that. That one's easy. Next one, it's 11. Okay, let me draw a line. Whoa. 5x minus 6 all over x squared minus 4x plus the quantity of 7 divided by 3x minus 12. First things first, you have to factor them all out. Can we factor out the first denominator?
Yeah.
Yeah? What would
X out.
I can take the x out. So I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to rewrite the numerator because I can't do anything about that. 5x minus 6 all over, take out an x. What's left?
X minus 4.
That's right. Plus 7, can't do anything with that because it's already a prime. 3x minus 12, is that factorable? Take out a 3. So we have an x minus 4 again. Okay, this is the part where we have to decide which factor do we take as part of a lowest common denominator. Okay. LCD, just like what we did before. We have x all by itself. Do we take it or do we not? Yes, we do. Okay. Remember, because over here, x and 3 is right. We also take the 3 because we also take that. But the question is, you have x minus 4 on the first denominator and then another x minus 4 on the second denominator. Do we need to take them both?
No.
No, just one is plenty. So we take one of them. Okay, so your lowest common denominator, 1 bar plus another bar, it's really 3x times the quantity of what? X minus 4. So now we're going to look at the first denominator and check out that one. What did we multiply? 3. That means the top gets multiplied by 3 as well. So I'm going to write the 3 in the front so I can correctly distribute that later. How about the second denominator? What did we multiply? X, you're right. X times 7, that can be immediately, right, what? 7x. The denominator is exactly the same, so now I'm just going to have one denominator. 3x times the quantity, x minus 4. Let's distribute the top. 3 times 5x is, Lena, what's that? 3 times 5x, hun? Good. Gemma, 3 times negative 6 is? Good. And then I'm going to bring the 7x over. Can I combine like terms? Can I do anything with those? Yeah. You got 15x and a 7x, Grace? Oh, Grace not here. Where's... That would make what, Victoria? 22x, you're right. And then drop the 18 down, all over 3x times the quantity of x minus 4. On the top, remember, you always want to check to see if it's factorable. The reason you want to check to see if it's factorable so you can sometimes reduce. On the top, the two numbers are both even, so I know at least I can take out a what? A 2. So I will. Okay. So I have 11x minus 9 all over 3x times x minus 4. But as you can see, can I reduce anything? No. So it's okay. I can box that up. In the case that you can't reduce, you can also box up the one before, because that's also the simplest. So either one will be perfectly okay. Then I need to write the restrictions. X can never, ever, ever be what, Hope? Is that it? And positive 4. You're right. 0 and positive 4, because those are both on the denominator. Would you guys agree? I'm going to hold that tight so you can copy it. Okay. Then I'm going to draw another line, and then I'm going to go to the next example. Similarly, we're going to do the same thing to 12. What should we do first? Factor. You're right. Let's do it. So we're going to have x on the top. What are the factors? Emma H for x squared minus 1.
X minus 1 and x plus 1.
Beautiful. And then add 2x minus 1 all over. Okay, go ahead and take a minute to factor out this denominator. And Daniel, give me the answers when you're ready. Not the answer, just the factors. Like. Daniel, do you have the factors, hon? X squared minus 2x plus 2? Good. Okay. So let's talk about lowest common denominator. You guys have x minus 1 on both sides. Do we keep them both? No. Brooke? X minus 1 and x plus 2. Brooke, if you have x minus 1, let's write that down. X plus 2. Can you quickly check that for me? Negative 1 times positive 2. Is that going to give me a positive 2? Okay. Good. Good check, though. Okay. LCD. Okay. X minus 1 on each denominator.
So you take 1.
You take 1, because it's a repeat. Okay. Next, you have x plus 1 on just one side. Do we take it? We take it. Okay, because it's a higher. Okay. Then x minus 2, we take it as well. So that's your lowest common denominator. Then we write a bar plus another bar and copy that all over. And remember, I'm writing every step out. So if you need to, you can go back and listen to the notes. Okay. Now look at the first denominator and that new denominator of ours. What did we multiply? What's the change? Right, we multiply by x minus 2. So now, let's distribute the top for me. X times x is?
2x.
X squared minus 2x. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Now look at the second denominator and our new LCD. What did we multiply? Right? So I'm going to write that down, and then I will FOIL that out in the next step. X plus 1. Would that be correct? Okay. Now I'm going to FOIL that out slowly. Okay. On the bottom, x minus 1 times x plus 1 times x minus 2. On this first one, I'm going to copy x squared minus 2x over. Now slowly, here we go. 2x times x is what? What's 2x times x?
2x squared.
2x squared. Okay. 2x times positive 1 is? Positive 2x. Now we're moving to the middle. Negative 1 times x is? Minus x. Negative 1 times 1 is? Perfect. Okay. Anything on the top that we can combine? Aaron, any square terms that we can combine?
X squared, 2x squared.
Yeah. X squared and then 2x squared. Aaron, that would make what?
3x squared.
You're right. How about the x's? How many x's, Carly, do we have left?
3.
Do we have 3 x's left? 1 x? I'm going to change color. All right, so it looks like we have that negative 2x, a positive 2x, and a negative x, right? That would make a negative x. And then drop the minus 1. And we're going to write the common denominator back down. Bless you. Okay. Now before I get all happy and box it up, I have to check to see if the top is what? Right. So 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. In the middle is negative 1. Can I find two numbers? When I multiply, give me negative 3, and add, give me negative 1. Yes or no? No. So guess what? It's not factorable. So can I box it?
Yes.
For sure. Quickly state the restrictions for me, please. What are the restrictions for this one, James? X can never ever be what?
1,
Uh-huh.
1, and 2.
Beautiful. Nice job. Are we pretty good with restrictions now? Yeah. And that's what you do when you add. Was it terrible? Yeah? Okay. When you guys subtract, the process is the same, except what? You're subtracting. What do you do with that subtraction sign? Distribute it out. Okay, so if you don't, then you're going to get the wrong answer, so make sure we're very cautious. So, example, 13, 14, and 15 are all subtraction. Example 13, same thing. We are going to start with the lowest common denominator. Can you give it to me? This one goes to Chance. What do you think the lowest common denominator is?
Extra.
Remember, this is a factor, right, over here? And this is another factor.
Yeah.
So,
Do you want me to like time it?
no, don't times them. Tell me what to write in my two quantities there.
X minus 5x plus 3.
Do you guys agree with Chance?
Yes.
Yeah, when they don't have anything in common, can we just take the two of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much that is. Okay. And then write one fraction bar minus another fraction bar and put my common denominator under each. Then we're going to go back and analyze what was changed. First denominator to this new LCD. What did we change?
X plus 3.
That's right. So we took the old 2 multiplied by x plus 3. Then we'll do the same thing to the other guy. We used to have just x minus 3. But what did we change? What did we multiply by?
X minus 5.
X minus 5. Beautiful. Denominators are exactly the same. We're going to write the entire numerator over one common denominator. So 2 times x is what, Hunter? 2 times x is what?
2x.
Thank you. 2 times 3 is what, Hunter?
5. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Now this is the part where I'm going to write down a minus sign, and I'm going to have a quantity before I distribute that negative sign. So we're going to slowly distribute out the x minus 3 times a quantity of x minus 5. So Arista, x times x is what? Good. X squared. Emma P, x times negative 5 is what?
Negative 5x.
Good. Then now in the middle, Amanda, negative 3 times x is?
Negative 3x.
Good. Negative 3 times negative 5 is now what, McKenna? Good. Okay. Can I combine anything in that group? Yep. So 2x minus 6 minus quantity x squared minus 8x plus 15. All over. And again, I'm writing out every single step. If you're really good with algebra, you can skip, but that's up to you. Oh, plus 6. Thank you. Good eye. Okay. This is the part where it's going to be incorrect if you don't distribute the negative to every single thing. If we distribute the negative to every single thing, what do we now have?
Negative
Negative x
x squared.
squared.
X minus 15.
Yeah, plus 8x minus 15. So make sure all of those are carefully distributed. Okay. Can we combine like terms now in the numerator? Yeah. We just have one negative x squared. How many x's do we have? So that and that, what would that make? 10. So plus 10x. 6 and a negative 15, Roger, will make a what? 6 and a negative 15, like this guy right here and that guy.
Negative 9.
Beautiful. All over your common denominator. Then, of course, we have to check to see if it's factorable. I'm going to take out a negative 1 first. Then I'm left with an x squared minus 10x plus 9 all over x minus 5 times x plus 3. Is that trinomial on the numerator factorable? Yeah? What are the factors?
9 and 1.
Oh, 9 and 1. Okay, so negative 1 times x minus 9 times x minus 1 all over x minus 5 times x plus 3. Would you agree that none of it is reducible anyway? Okay, so I can box that up. I can even box the one before that. Would you guys agree with that? Because it's not reducible. Even better, can I even box the one before that? Because none of it is reducible anyway. Okay, so all of those, the blue, the highlighted yellow, or the box in red, you can give me as the right answer. But let's take the restrictions straight away. Restriction, Brendan N. X can never ever be what? Perfect. Nice job. Okay. So when it's not reducible, you can go back and box any one of those. I'm gonna wait for another minute until you guys are done copying. I don't want to go too fast. Okay. Example. We'll draw a line. Okay. This one, kind of different. You have 5 over x times y squared minus 7y over 2x to the third. Let's look at this one. You have 1x here and 3x to the third there. Oh my. What are you going to do? What would be the LCD? What are you going to take? The single x or x to the third? You have 1x, x to the first, and x to the third. Which one would we take as part of our lowest common denominator? Remember, we want to find a variable. We want to find the number or the variable that can or able to divide x to the third and divide by x.
X to the 3.
You're right, right? Would you agree that x to the third divided by x to the third is what? 1. X to the third divided by x is x squared. Does that make sense so far? So when you have this and this, can you see the higher powers over here? If they repeat, but this one has higher power. So guess what you do? You take this as part of your LCD. So even think about this. So let me make up this question. Like 2 over 5 plus 11 over, let's say, 25. What is your lowest common denominator? 25.
3 times 5 and 5.
Right. So would you agree that LCD would be 25, which is really technically 5 squared? True or false? I'm going to hold on tight. Would you agree with that statement? LCD for that made-up question is 25.
So you write what the entire denominator is.
You write whatever's bigger. Well, does that make sense so far? Because 5 Can you go 5 divided by 25 and give you a whole number?
No.
No. But can you go 25 divided by 5 and give you a nice whole number? Right. So you take the larger multiples of the two. Does that make sense, Hannah? Yeah. All right. For our variable, it's x at x to the third. Which one is the larger multiples? X to the third. Then you have y squared and no y at all. So which one is the larger multiple? Y squared. Okay, so that's now your common denominator. Blank minus blank. I have x cubed and y squared. X cubed and y squared. I'm also missing a what?
2.
A 2. You have a 2 here and nothing over here. So guess what? I also have to take that guy. So can I stick the 2 in the front? Yep. Okay. Now let's look at the first denominator. Cautiously. Tell me, what's missing?
2x.
I'm missing a 2. It's perfectly right. I'm also missing how many x's?
1.
2 of them, right? Because I already have one.
Oh, it's y.
Okay. Right. So I'm missing. So 5 times 2x squared. True or false? True. On the second denominator, what's missing? The 2's already there. The x third's already there.
Y squared.
Y squared. Okay. So 7y times y squared. Denominators are identical. So now we go 2x cubed. Y squared is a common denominator. Over here, I have 10x squared minus 7y cubed. Someone confirm those for me? Can I factor out anything on the top? No. Okay, box it up. We're going to take the bottom and set equals to 0. So that means x can never be what? 0, and y can never be 0.
How come you wrote both?
Because you have 2 variables. If you have another one, then you're going to write another one. Okay, draw a line. Here we go. Why don't I give you 2 minutes head start on 15, and then I'll catch up with you. So in pairs and triplets, go ahead and work that out. And let me shuffle your decks of cards, take out all the kids that's taking the quiz and absent kids, and I'll shuffle the rest. Talk it out, guys, verbally.
Then you get 5 and 3 on this side.
I was getting factor that.
C squared and 8c.
Oh.
C cubed plus 5 plus 17. And I think we're reaching 8, right? I think so, yeah.
Oh, yeah. C.
Then you get C plus 3 and C plus 5.
Yes. And then for LCD, would it be C plus 3? Like the only? Will be 15.
I think it could be that. It could also be C plus 3 and C plus 5. But you only take one.
Wait, try it 1 second. I'm coming over anyway.
Wait, no, wait, factor this one first.
You don't need to do C plus 5. Right. I think it's just C plus 3.
Ah,
If you
have
look
the
at this
factor
one,
first.
it's basically like the same thing. You see how we get both at these?
And then you only take one.
But we're gonna take one of these.
Guys, number 1, what do you do first before looking for LCD?
Right.
Factor.
LCDs are C plus 3 and C plus 5.
Is it factorable? C squared plus 8c plus 15?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Any sequence you got your notes on?
I know the first one, I can't really do anything with, okay, but the second one, James, did you and Kai figure out what the factors are?
C plus 5 and C plus 3.
Good. Okay. Now, let's talk about common denominator, lowest. Gemma, what do you think the lowest common denominator is? Can we agree?
Yeah.
Yep. So now that Gemma's giving me a nice common denominator, right? Bar plus a bar. Oh, that's not a plus. It's a minus. Okay. Write the common denominator under each. Okay. Okay, look at the first denominator and a new found lowest common denominator. What did we change? What did we multiply? Hannah? We are now looking at the first denominator. Compare that to LCD. Good. Okay, is Hannah right? Yep. Now we're going to check out the second denominator. Do we need to change anything? No, I'm going to write minus 4 over. Just like that. True or false? True, all right. So now the denominators are the same. I'm just going to copy the denominator. Okay, oops, that's a 3. Then on the top, C times C plus 3. Gabe, what's C times C plus 3? What do we get? Perfect. And I'm going to drop the negative 4 behind it. Is that still okay? Can I box that up? I can, but I should try what? Factoring. Okay. So someone did it already and told me that. Okay. But I should try anyway, right? Just in case. So Joe, what are the factors on the top? C plus 4 and C minus 1. You're right. Can't do anything. So I'm gonna box that up. Technically, can I box the one before as well? Sure. Let's just state the restriction, okay? Restrictions are, Daniel, what is it that we can never have for our C value? Thank you. Okay. Now, last couple of questions, and then we are done for this adding and subtracting. Go ahead and copy this down, and I'll give 2 minutes on our clock, and we'll read it again. can you help me? Simplifying complex fraction. Can you help me read number 1, please, Victoria?
Write as division problem with parentheses around numerator and denominator.
Thank you. Can you, Brandon N, help me read number 2?
Forms of operations and purposes.
Thank you. Hunter, read number 3, please.
Find restriction, look for anything that will result in dividing by 0.
I need you to put that away, please. Number 4, Carly.
Divide according to division notes.
Perfect. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about the word complex. What does that mean? Yeah, what does it mean?
It's hard.
It's hard. It's difficult. Complex means difficult. Look at 16 and 17, the last 2 examples of this unit. I'm not in this unit, this skill. Does it look scary? Yeah, okay. But if you think about it, this big old ginormous line means what? Yeah, okay. So just like what it says, write it as a division problem. So we are going to write the numerator, starting with the quantity. 3 over x minus 4, add 1 over x minus 3. We're going to start with the parentheses, set of quantity. And then we are going to write it as the division problem. Okay? Divided by what?
X over x squared minus 7x. Should we factor that now?
Yeah. I mean, in your homework, I say that I would start doing that right away, but because I'm doing notes, I'm going to do one step at a time. Are you guys okay with that? Look at the first set of quantities. What is that? What operation is that? Just adding. You're adding normally. So guess what we do when we add 2 fractions? You're right. Okay. Least common denominator for this quantity. Can you tell me, Aaron, what is the lowest common denominator for this first quantity? Just that first set of... That's right. Okay. Then I'm going to do just what we just got done. X minus 4 times x plus 3, x minus 4 times x plus, oh, it's a minus 3, Aaron said. X minus 3, x minus 3. Okay, now look at the first denominator to the LCD. What do we need to multiply? So Hope, what do we need to multiply? Good, 3 times x minus 3. Look at the second denominator and tell me what, Emma H, what we need to multiply?
X minus 4.
Good. X minus 4 times 1 is what? Yeah, just x minus 4. Okay. That's the first quantity. Are you guys okay with that? Divided by. And then Hannah said, well, if I wanted to, couldn't I just write this one already factor out? Sure. Okay. So go ahead and factor that out when you're ready, Chance. Give me the factor. You can do that too if you are like, you know, you can skip however many steps you want to skip as long as you know where you're going. So what are the factors here? Whenever Chance you're ready. X squared minus 7x plus 12.
You want me to say like the chart right now? Or?
Yeah, the factors right now when you're ready.
Oh, okay.
I don't need the answer, final answer. Okay, just the factors for x squared minus 7x plus 12. Like the factors for that.
Well, then you have to like factor it out, like make the extra.
Uh-huh. So do what you got to do and then when you're ready. I don't know yet. I'm waiting for Chance. Yeah. Oh, okay. Tell me what it is, hon.
X minus 3, x minus 4.
Are those the right factors? Good. Okay. And then there's a lot of people like, oh my gosh, I see stuff. Okay. Now, because I'm lecturing, I'm going to go one step at a time. Can you see the first bracket? The denominators are now the same, so I'm just going to write it over. I'm going to do exactly what you just got done doing. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times minus 3 is minus 9. Bring over the plus x and the minus 4. Now, can I multiply by its reciprocal? Yep. So some of you like, can I do that? Can I? Yep. All of that if you guys are ahead of me. Now, Can I do what? Tell me. Reduce?
Yeah.
Yeah. But before I reduce, I should really go down here and write my restrictions, right? X so far can never ever be what? 4, 3, and 0. Perfect. So now let's have fun. Cancel out x minus 3, x minus 4. Then we are now on the top. We have 3x plus x is?
Get rid of the both of 1x's, or is that?
Oh, can I cancel out the x's? Can we cancel these x's? No, you may not, okay? All right, 3x plus an x is what? 4x. Negative 9 and a negative 4 is? Negative 13 all over what? X. Can I cancel this x with that x? No, because this guy, this is an addition with that, okay? So I can't simplify. I'm going to box it up. I kind of went all the way to the bottom and boxed that up as well. Look how beautiful it looks. Not too bad. Last question. Oh, Brandon, over there on top of your computer. Okay, same thing. Guess what we do first? Yeah, rewrite it. Ready? First numerator, x minus 2 over x plus 2 times x plus 1. That's my numerator. Divided by. And if you're really good with algebra, you can skip a couple steps as long as you know how to get the rest. Okay, sorry. Do we need to find the common denominator for each set of brackets? Yep. So here we go. LCD for this first set of bracket is what? X times the quantity of x plus 1. Beautiful. Then LCD for this second set of bracket is? Good. Okay. All right. Then slowly and cautiously, I'm going to go back into each bracket. This plus of that. So this is x times x plus 1. X times x plus 1. That's my first bracket. Over here, my second bracket, I have the LCD of x minus 1 times x plus 1. So 1 minus that. I will be very careful about the second bracket because why? It's a subtraction, okay? LCD, what should we do with that first numerator? Yeah, so x minus 1 is its original. Go in and multiply by x plus 1. Again, very carefully. And then the second denominator, we are going to multiply 2 with what? X. Perfect. Then over here, I'm going to multiply the 3 with what? Yeah. And over here, I'm going to multiply the 1 with what? That's right. Then slowly, I'm going to write over one denominator, x times x plus 1. And then distribute. Here we go. X times x is? X squared. X times 1 is 1x. Negative 2 times x is? Negative 2x. Negative 2 times 1 is minus 2. And add 2x from that piece. On the other side, I will do similar. Over one denominator, x minus 1 times x plus 1. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 1 is 3. Carefully distribute this minus 1 throughout. Negative 1 times x is now negative what? Negative 1 times x is negative x. Negative 1 times a negative 1 is positive 1. So be very cautious when it's a minus. Okay, looks like I can combine some like terms. X squared is now on the top. Would you agree that these two guys are canceling? So I'm left with a positive x minus 2 all over x times x plus 1. Can I flip right away?
No.
No. Oh, yep. Okay, so let's see. On the top, what do you have? 2x plus 4. Yay or nay? Would that be okay? Yeah? All right, now can I flip? Yeah, all right, let's flip. But before I flip, can I factor out that first numerator? Yeah, we should. X plus 2 times the quantity of x minus 1 all over x times x plus 1. Now, I can also factor that second denominator. Guess what I can factor out? A 2. Let's flip, okay? Anything canceling as before I'm finished writing? Can you see that I can take out 2? X plus what? 2. Anything canceling? Okay, hold on. X what? X plus 1, yep. Anything else? X plus 2, yep. Anything else? Can I cancel the x minus 1 on both on the top? No, please don't do that. Okay, so now you have x minus 1 quantity. There's 2 of those. True or false? 2 over how many x's? 2 x's, and box that up. Now let's say the denominators though, okay? Looks like x can never be what?
-2, 1, -1.
Okay, x can never be, this first one is 0. Would you agree? So kind
Oh,
of,
I thought since it was,
remember, before you flip and after you flip.
but I thought you only do it.
No, the whole denominator, every denominator. So x can't be 0, x can't be -1, x can't be +1, and then when you flipped, x can be what? -2.
So you even do the other denominator?
You have to do all denominators. All
How come we
denominators.
didn't do that before?
Oh, sure we did. All right, that is the end of today's notes.